During this time, you won't believe what occurred. Xiandu and Xiandu were halted by Qianlu's extreme provocation. He grinned like a classic villain, yet slipped due to a knee injury. Subtitle, especially that exaggerated face. Xiandu held back his anger, asking, "What brings you here?" Qianlu, like a philosopher musing aloud, wandered among passers-by. Mockingly, he said, "The new guy's gone," and deliberately named Yanxian. Xiandu glanced scornfully at the four, thinking, "What a weird gathering." However, he stood firm, shouting, "Qiantuan first." Qiantuan was stunned, thinking, "Is he nuts?" Qianlu was laughing so hard he could barely breathe, his eyes sparkling with the joy of him just too good at this. Qiantuan's frantic running down the street was a sight to behold. Frenetic footsteps sneered, curses surged like a tide. Qiantuan dashed into the stairwell, thinking, "Don't catch me." He called Yanxian, asking if he had arrived safely at the class. Xin sensed something amiss and asked about the concern. Before finishing, a flurry of footsteps and shouts came from the box other side, like someone yelling at kids to go home for homework. Meanwhile, Baizheng slowly started speaking, expressing that he still saw the back as a friend. Joining the alliance was very profitable. He used to be taught to depict a bright future, claiming the alliance would become legitimate and everything would run smoothly after graduation. Faced with all these sweet words and flattery, Xiandu couldn't help but sneer inwardly, recognizing that the truly foolish one was not anyone else, but the very person standing right in front of him. Realizing that Xiandu was in peril, he immediately turned around to offer his rescue. But the good times were short-lived as members of the alliance blocked the way. Cheng Dai led Xiandu to the rooftop for a proper showdown, and the result was. However, Xiandu was no match for Cheng Dai. He could only take the hits while putting on a smile. Amidst the series of impact sounds, the little brothers fell one by one, screams and curses echoing with no hint of sympathy in the cramped space. The crowd collapsed. Qiantuan was surrounded and mocked by the alliance thugs, with Cheng Dai filming nearby. Just then, Xian found this place. Cheng Dai saw the new prey finally appear, his eyes twinkling with excitement like, "Can I finally play?" Xian dragged his backpack and swiftly pulled out his secret weapon from his pocket, but Cheng Dai caught his hand that held the pen and tossed it away. Cheng Dai was punched down, and Xian swiftly held a nearby flower pot, catching him off guard. He snapped the arm of the glasses off and fiercely jabbed it into Cheng Dai's foot. Cheng Dai let out a scream of agony, thinking to himself, "This is absolutely the most terrible thing that has happened to me today." Cheng Dai blocked the fatal blow, pushed Xian down, and turned to make a hefty counterattack while Xian aimed for a victory. It seemed like a replay as he stood up and continued to strike, and then Cheng Dai shoved Xian down again. A prolonged struggle with no end in sight. The shove down and shove again routine was hard to keep up with. Subtitles. Eventually, Cheng Dai toppled Xian over. All the onlookers were left utterly astounded, pondering to themselves, "What on earth is this? Some kind of intense high school drama?" When the hotshot Jamie arrived, Weldon was slumped on the ground, thinking, "What is going on? I can't believe my eyes." He lamented, "This situation is just too tough." Other people reassured him, "Don't worry, we're all superhuman, we can take it." When Shane struggled to open his eyes, a familiar voice seemed to say, "Hey, wake up, don't miss this show." "Fortunately, I have these 300 survivors, but the situation looks very urgent." Others stepped up apologetically to face the upcoming challenges. "I promise this won't happen again," he confidently stated, aiming to help his brothers solve the problem. "Why are they treated this way?" they asked, confused, while Jinju spotted a group of youth sprawling in the corner. At the moment when the off-screen warning was given not to disturb Baizheng, they came to their senses and softly responded, "Just a childhood friend." Nevertheless, he dialed Baizheng's phone number. "Where are you?" Baizheng inquired coldly after finding out that the venue had already been brought to the police station. Matters appeared to be becoming increasingly intricate. "I'm saving you," he suddenly exclaimed, "Why did you bring me here?" "I came to bury this 86. Look, this flower pattern is ideal. Let's shape this style. Get started now. We're the bad guys, but we're on the same side. I'm taking a break for now. Don't come looking for me. I'm merely a thug who's ready to lend a hand right away." After uttering these words, he scurried away as swiftly as a little bunny. "I'll reach out privately." He left this line and hurried out of school. On the day they returned to school, 3 of them waited at the entrance as people occasionally yelled their names, like in a chase scene. "I waited until my neck was about to snap," he exaggerated, while others teased that they were just there to go to school together. "Awesome." Their ice princess finally melted. He excitedly joked. Zion Ren, overhearing, couldn't help but smile slightly. After the first class, they gathered around gossiping again. "What's new with Wu Kai's Yang?" he asked curiously, prompting giggles from everyone. "Want to go to the supermarket together?" he suggested, but Zion Ren flatly refused, keeping the atmosphere light and warm. At this moment, Zion mentioned the previous conflict with the Alliance, indicating that it wouldn't end easily. However, he comforted everyone, saying, "It's okay, I've already taken care of it. We just need to enjoy the peace." The atmosphere lightened due to his explanation, but suddenly his phone vibrated, and his expression turned serious. He picked up the phone, only to find it was the police. "Please come to the station." After the call, his face changed slightly. When asked by Xin, he smiled weakly, saying, "I have to leave." The remaining friends wore confused and apprehensive expressions, having heard the police's message on the phone that they were apparently not mine, but now they changed their tune, claiming that the boss never asked to see ID, and Zion's father completely exploded.